Ladies, gentlemen, creatures of the deep, hi, hello, how we doing? It's me, ya boy, the guy who always wears flannel shirts. Listen, they're comfy, they're warm, and they've got a collar so I can wear them to work. The button-downs, you know, the super thin button-downs, they were nice in September when it was still 75, 80 degrees out. When it's 35 degrees out, sometimes I'll come in with like a collared shirt and a jacket, right? You see me wear that gray jacket, but flannels are chill, man. It's one layer and it's warm enough. It's great. Love my flannels. And I'm only in the office 2 days a week, so like when I'm at home, I'm pretty much wearing t-shirts unless I have a meeting. So I don't literally wear flannels every day. I just wear them into the office, but I'm only into the office 2 days a week, so it's fine. Deal with it. So, in the office today, actually had a 2-hour delay this morning because we had a bunch of ice up here. So I came in and I'm like, all right, you know, break time. I get to come out and record. And I'm like, yesterday, the day before, like this week, I'm kind of, you know, I recorded Monday and it worked because I told you I was going to talk about Sirianni and the coaching staff. So I loosely talked about it. And like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I'm like, all right, Friday's coming up. What am I going to record about? Because it's cold out, so like I don't want to hang out outside and do stuff because it's still cold, and that's, you know, I'd rather sit in my car and be warm, basically. So I'm like, all right, what am I going to record about? When I'm sitting, I'm thinking, and well, then yesterday rolls along, and the Eagles gave me something to record about. Isn't it funny how that works? So, unless you've been living under a rock, you've heard that Carson Wentz has been traded to the Indianapolis Colts for a second-round pick and a conditional second-round pick and a third-round pick. The third round, I think the third round is this year. Conditional second is next year. So the conditional second can become a first if Wentz plays at least 75% of the season, or 70% of the season and the Colts make the playoffs, which I think they will. A lot of stuff to say here. So this is going to, I'm probably going to record for a half hour. Just got to think of where to start. Okay, so the Indianapolis Colts last year were a very good team, right? Made the playoffs, got bounced in the first round, but they're a good team. They're a well-rounded team. They're a well-coached team. Carson Wentz gets to go back with Frank Reich. He's got a good GM, a good offensive line, better receivers and running backs than he had in Philadelphia, and a top 10 defense. They were top 10 last year. If you're Carson Wentz, what's not to love about that scenario? That's not even counting the fact that you're still getting paid $30 million by the team that you aren't even playing for anymore. What's not to love? As for the draft picks, I do think Howie dropped the ball on this one. One of the things that people have like, all right, you know, Howie's good at something. He's terrible at drafting, right? We've established that. But the last few years, he's done well enough in scraping other teams for trades, right? He got Jay Ajayi in 2017 for a measly 4th-round pick, which I think we have like 3 of that year anyway. It's a great freaking trade. And it worked really well because Ajayi was really good that year. And even as a 1-year rental, for what he gave us for that 1 year, for a 4th-rounder, easy money. Then there was the Sam Bradford ordeal. And I've seen a lot of people saying, oh my God, Howie got a first-round pick for Sam Bradford, which is ridiculous in a vacuum. But the thing you have to understand with that is that was desperation on the part of the Vikings. So Sam Bradford traditionally would, under normal circumstances, Sam Bradford would not have been worth a first-round pick at all. Would not have been worth it. But Teddy Bridgewater got hurt like a week before the season started. They needed a quarterback. They were scrambling. So, first-round pick for Sam Bradford, okay, here. And actually, Bradford did half decent for the Vikings. So, I'm not sure that situation is... I've seen a lot of people comparing that situation to this one, and I don't think it's a very good comparison, because desperation plays a factor. I think Howie got worked on this one. The Eagles got worked on this one. I've been watching Colin Cowherd a bit before I started recording this, and, you know, just kind of see what he was saying about the Carson Wentz thing. And so the way he basically put it was like, look, you drafted this guy, he's your franchise quarterback. He's good. He is good. Gets hurt. But his play basically gave us home field advantage that year for the Super Bowl. For the playoffs leading to our Super Bowl. He got hurt. All right. Freak injury. The basics of what Colin said was, look, this guy was and should have been your franchise quarterback. Benching him and throwing in Jalen Hurts was stupid. And trading him was stupid. Not now, because the relationship's already broken. But breaking that relationship was stupid. If you don't think Carson Wentz is a good quarterback, the Colts' odds of winning the Super Bowl just shot up. The Colts' odds of winning the Super Bowl now are higher than they were last year with Phillip Rivers. Shouldn't it literally be that simple? Like, the rest of the world understands this. And yeah, there's plenty of fans from plenty of other NFL teams that are like, oh my God, Carson Wentz sucks. Oh, Carson Wentz sucks. Oh, Carson Wentz sucks. Because, he had a bad year. Okay? Carson Wentz does not suck. Carson Wentz had a bad year in a broken relationship with a dysfunctional organization and a dog shit football team. I know I've ranted about this like 100,000 times, but the fact that people still don't understand it is just absurd to me. It's just absurd. So I suppose we get to roll forward with Jalen Hurts next year. We'll see. What did was it Roseman, I guess, the other day, or Jeff Lurie said the other day that, look, nothing's guaranteed. There's going to be a competition for the starting quarterback job at camp. I swear to God, if the Eagles draft another quarterback in the first round, oh my God, I swear to God. You want competition, like you want to bring in, you know, a vet or two during camp, Ryan Fitzpatrick type guy. You know, you want to bring in some veterans into camp to compete/teach Jalen Hurts. I am perfectly good with that. But I swear to God, if you waste another draft pick, I don't even care. If you if there's a quarterback somewhere and you're thinking about using your 7th round pick on him, don't. I don't care. Draft a corner, draft a receiver, draft an O-lineman. Don't draft an effing quarterback. Just don't. You want to bring in competition, sign some vets. Bring them in, compete, teach, do what you need to do. Do not touch another quarterback in the draft. Don't do it. We need, and this is exactly the same thing I said. This is what pissed me off about the Jalen Hurts pick. We didn't need a quarterback. This team had so many different holes to fill. So many different positions that we needed either starters, frankly, or more depth. And God, quarterback just wasn't one of them. You could have picked a linebacker. You could have picked a receiver. You could have picked a corner. Hell, you could have picked a safety. If you were going to cut Will Parks and all your safety depth beyond McLeod sucks. McLeod got hurt. Boom. You don't have any good safeties. The Jalen Hurts pick was such a big waste to me. You spent a good draft pick on a position you didn't need, and you drafted yourself a quarterback controversy. The Eagles organization put themselves in this position, and I have no sympathy for them whatsoever. I hate it for me because it pisses me off being a fan of this team, having to watch what happened last year to the team, to Carson, and now our franchise quarterback just got traded away for a pittance of what I would have thought he would have been worth. The Lions got a starting caliber quarterback and 2 first-round picks for Matt Stafford. I like Matt Stafford. I like Matt Stafford a lot. Do I think he was worth 2 firsts and a starting quarterback? Potentially. But that's not a knock on Stafford. Wentz should have been worth more. Wentz should have at least been worth at least a straight first-round pick. Not a conditional second. A straight first-round pick. Should have been worth at least that. The organization got absolutely worked. And the worst part is they didn't have a choice. They kind of needed to get rid of him because he doesn't like the organization. And the fan base, for some reason, fucking hates him. And that is the thing that I just cannot wrap my mind around that. I have never, ever been more embarrassed to be an Eagles fan than I am at this, not even this very moment, just this season. There are so many Eagles fans that legitimately have no fucking idea what they're talking about. I swear sometimes they don't even watch the games. They don't watch football. They don't watch games. Nothing. They sure as hell don't watch other teams play, because half the time I don't even think they watch their team play. Their team. There were people who legitimately believed that what was going on with the Eagles this year was all Carson's fault. Now, there's not that many of those people, but the fact that those people even exist in our fan base is ridiculous. Because to me, it literally proves they don't watch the games. Because I don't know how you could sit down and watch pick an Eagles game. I don't understand how you could sit down for 3 hours, watch this game, watch what's going on, and somehow think, oh, yeah, God, that's the quarterback's fault. Did Carson Wentz make some bad plays this year? Yeah. He made quite a few of them. But holy shit, man. You've got a coaching staff that won't adapt their play style and won't call plays to Carson's strengths. How many times? He barely rolled out. He'd roll out like 4 or 5 times a game. That's where he's best. Roll him out every other fucking play if you have to. I don't understand. And then, coaching staff that won't adapt their play style. Receivers who are having trouble getting open, and when they are open, they can't catch a damn ball. A defense that's giving up 30 points a game, with cornerbacks that absolutely suck outside of like one guy, basically. Your tight end was hurt for a significant portion of the season, and when he was on the field, honestly, God, it didn't even look like he was playing that hard. The offensive line was injured to hell, and the backups played like utter dog shit. Wentz was getting hit every other play, was getting sacked all the damn time. And look, some of those sacks were his fault. He held on to the ball too long. But a lot of those sacks were not his fault because he was running for his life every play. And yeah, did he hold on to the ball too long? Sometimes yes. But he shouldn't have been in that position anyway, because the only reason he was in that position to have to hold on to the ball too long was because the offensive lineman let 3 D linemen get past him. And I think what, I'll use the term disgust me the most, is people have supposedly been watching the Eagles since Wentz got drafted, or even before that, have watched every game of his, seen what he can do, and they were willing to give up on him after one bad season. One bad season with a dog shit team. You know, it's not like he was playing for the Chiefs or the Bucks. You know, this isn't like a Jameis Winston scenario where he had all these freakishly great weapons and he was still throwing 35 picks a season. The Eagles were dog shit this year. They had next to no talent. Next to no talent. Outside of Miles Sanders and Lane Johnson. Like, literally on offense. Give me the name of a player that performed exceptionally well this year. I'm even skeptical of Lane Johnson and Miles Sanders. Miles Sanders was hurt in and out. And look, Miles Sanders is really good. So, I would give you maybe Lane and Miles. Beyond those two, name me a player that was exceptional this year. You can't do it. Travis Fulgham. Okay, yeah, he had like 3 really good games. What was his yardage total? Like 450 yards? And yeah, okay, he lost some field time when Jeffrey came back, which was probably a mistake. But even when he was on the field, like, again, you can't just say, oh, well, Jeffrey's back. He lost all of his time. Because no, he didn't. Again, watch the games. Pay attention. Half the time, towards the end of the season, half the time when Fulgham was on the field, he wasn't getting open. So no, I won't give you Travis Fulgham. Yeah, he had like 3 great games. Name me an offensive player that was exceptional. Jason Kelce. I'll give you him too. When you're dealing with all this shit on offense, look at what happened to Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. Just look at what happened. It's the same goddamn thing. It's the same goddamn thing I've been saying for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. When your team isn't giving you any help, I don't care if you have Jameis Winston or Joe Montana. Your quarterback they can't do that. Patrick Mahomes is one of the greatest, he will be remembered likely as one of the greatest athletes to ever play the game of football. And look at what happened to him. Against a really good defense, but B, his team was playing like shit. Look at what happened to him. It's that simple. I have seen... Now, I never watched, like, the Montana days and this and the other thing. I have seen 2 players take what I would consider a really bad team, put them on his back, and take them to, we'll say, the playoffs. Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson. The first few years of Russell Wilson's, he had the Legion of Boom. The defense was super good. The defense kind of carried the offense. Then the Legion of Boom got kind of broken up. The offensive line got destroyed. Some of their offensive weapons were either traded or retired. And then you had a couple of years where the defense was mediocre. The offense was mediocre. And Wilson was so damn good, he just took them to the playoffs every year. Aaron Rodgers the same way. How many years of mediocre bullshit did Aaron Rodgers have in Green Bay? And he just kept them going, kept winning. Drew Brees couldn't even do it. How many years in a row did Drew Brees go 8 and the Saints go 8-8? Like 3 years in a row. Because their defense sucked. And their offense was Patrick Mahomes couldn't carry a team to a win against a good defense when his team won play. You can't expect Wentz to be God when the rest of the team is literal dog shit. And I cannot believe how many people don't understand that very, very simple fact. And look, people say, oh, well, you're just you're a Carson Wentz stan. You hate Jalen Hurts, and you're just making excuses for Carson Wentz. All right, yeah, I'm a Carson Wentz fan. Yeah, I am. But I have reasons for being a Carson Wentz fan. Give me your reasons for standing Jalen Hurts. Do it. Go ahead, please. Let me know. He played 4 games. He won 1 of those games. And I'm going to be honest, that game really didn't have that much to do with Jalen Hurts. Wasn't the final score? I don't think either one of those teams scored more than 20 points, right? Or I might be misremembering the score. But I remember watching that game. The Saints' offense just didn't look good. It wasn't on Jalen Hurts. The Saints just had an off night. The Saints have been blowing people out all season long. And they showed up in Philly and they had a bad game. That wasn't Jalen Hurts' game. Jalen Hurts got all the attention because it was his first start and they beat one of the best teams in the NFL. The Saints did not look good in that game. The Cardinals game. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, Jalen Hurts looked pretty good. Not good enough to win the game. And I remember saying the same thing after that game. All right, look, guys. Jalen Hurts looked good. But the rest of the team did not. You lost the game mostly because of the rest of the team. It's the same thing I've been saying about Carson Wentz for weeks. It's not Carson Wentz's fault because Jalen Hurts got hit with the same issues. Patrick Mahomes got hit with the same issues. Drew Brees been getting hit with the same issues for years. It's just unbelievable. It's just unbelievable. And the same people that are willing to get rid of Carson Wentz, give up on Carson Wentz after 1 bad season, they're willing to throw everything at Jalen Hurts after watching 4 games in which I believe he went 1-3. I don't understand. I don't understand. The Colts are going to be Super Bowl contenders next year, mark my words. I don't get it. This organization is an embarrassment. Howie Roseman can get the hell out of here. Anybody that had anything to do with that Jalen Hurts draft pick, scrap him. I would be perfectly happy if anybody who had anything to do with that draft pick, gone. That was one of the biggest fuck-ups. I mean, think about all of the biggest, mistakes and jokes that have happened. Teams have messed up in the draft over the years. No. This has got to be one of the biggest draft fuck-ups I've ever seen. Not necessarily because Jalen Hurts is not a good player, but because you already had a franchise quarterback and you wasted a second-round pick on a team that didn't need a quarterback, but needed significant help in multiple other places on both sides of the ball. Embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing. And they're paying the price for it. And I have no sympathy whatsoever for this organization. I really don't. And you know what? When this team goes 4-12, 5-11 next year, I'm going to laugh my ass off. I'm going to be pissed. It's going to be me laughing through my pain, But I'm going to laugh my ass off because, you know what? I'm going to look at least, from what, in my experience, I'm going to be looking at about 70% of this fan base and going, this is what you asked for, and this is what you fucking deserve. The endless amounts of shit I have seen talked about Carson Wentz from this fan base has been nothing short of pathetic. And I am embarrassed to be associated with half of this fan base right about now. You guys better hope Jalen Hurts is like the next Randall Cunningham or something, because the team still sucks. Now it looks like we're probably going to be losing Zach Ertz. I'm going to be pissed in one sense, but it'll be hilarious looking at the fan base and going, this is what you wanted. This is what you asked for. So now you have to live with it. I gotten into countless fights on Twitter and Facebook and even with people in person. And this fan base is just embarrassing. Best of luck to Carson. I hope he succeeds. I hope he does really well. I hope the Colts win a Super Bowl sometime in the next 3 years, and I won't be surprised when it happens. Now, obviously, am I going to root for the Colts when they're playing? See, this is one of the other big things. People will say oh, hey, you know, I'm rooting for Carson. Well, how could you root for Carson? He's on another team. Dumbass. You can still be an Eagles fan and root for Carson Wentz. I'm not rooting for Carson Wentz against the Eagles. Am I rooting for Carson Wentz against pretty much any other team in the league? Yeah, sure. You know, is it next year? I think it's not this upcoming season, but the season after that. I think we go to Indy and play. We go to Indy and play the Colts. Am I going to be rooting for the Colts? Fuck no. You idiots. But outside of that, best of luck to Carson. I really do hope he does well. And I think at this point, as much as this is how I described my reaction to the trade to a good friend of mine yesterday, I'm sad. I'm very sad. I'm very happy for Carson, but I am very sad. I think this is the way this needed to happen. I think this is what's best for Carson. And frankly, at this point, I think it's what's best for the Eagles. But I'm sad that it ever got to this point. I'm sad that it got to the point where this was the course of action that frankly needed to be taken. And look, like Colin said, you don't have to coddle somebody. Starting them even when they're playing bad because they're your franchise quarterback, that's not coddling. That's sticking with a guy. That's saying, you are our franchise quarterback. Do you need to get better? Yes. But you are our guy. And that's what we needed to be doing. With all of the shit that's happened, starting from Nick Foles' Super Bowl and onward, the shit he's taken from the media, the shit he's taken from the fan base, the shit he's taken from people in his own locker room, the shit he's had to put up with from his coaches, the shit he's had to put up with from his receivers and the rest of the team, the shit he's had to put up with from the front office, Nick Foles' Super Bowl looming over his head because he had a freak injury. And now the Jalen Hurts drafting looming over his head and then getting benched for Jalen Hurts, I wouldn't want to play for this fucking team either. How in the hell can anybody blame him for not wanting to play for this team? It's not being stuck up. It's not being self-righteous. Would you want to play for that team? I sure as hell wouldn't. I don't blame him one bit. I'm happy for him that he's gone. I am not happy he's gone. That's where I'm at. And that's where I'm going to end this because I have to go back to work. If people actually watch this whole video, they're probably going to be very pissed off. But nobody ever does. So I'll catch you next time. I should be back in on Monday. I'll think of something to record. If not, I'll just come in here and shit on the fan base again. Bye.